Hello and welcome. This will be my first video, my first full-length video. My first video was just a little basic saturation video. Shout out to Mark for asking for that. Yeah, so thank you to everybody that's signed up and subscribed to my Patreon. Yeah, I feel like it's a good way to learn and to know the true tricks and behind the scenes of pretty much production and how it all works and how it all looks and blah blah blah. Yeah, so this particular video will be a project run through. I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to talk for. I'm basically just going to wing it, go through as much as I can, try to keep it under 10 minutes. Um, and yeah, hopefully you guys can learn something um, of how I work, I suppose. So just taking a full look at the arrangement, I suppose let's just have a full look. Yeah, so as you can see from the structure, I've just looped the first phrase. What I like to do is pretty much make a 32 bar loop at the beginning of my track where I'll find certain drums that I like to work with. If I need to layer certain snares, I will, just to work with the key of the track and the pitch, and also to create like harmonics between the drums and the bass line and the lead lines and anything like that. So yeah, I'll start off by pretty much, or let's actually play through the track and you can get a little feel of what it sounds like overall. The track's called Take Me Home. Cool. So now that you get a little understanding of what the track sounds like as a whole, I'll just quickly run through all the different elements I've used, starting with, I suppose, how I like to work is I'll have like a perfect drum mix. So like maybe a little loop, I'll just name this drum mix perfect. It's just one that I've put together a while back, and it's something that I'll use over and over. I started this process after a track that I made for Forbidden Frequencies called Zaro, which is actually a free track if you want to go grab it. So yeah, basically I'll always start off with like getting a nice like drum mix, like nice little loop going, and then in that I'll start layering it, as you can see. So in this particular track I needed two different sounding snares. So that's being one. Sorry about that. And then this being the other. So as you can hear, it's got a little bit of everything in there, as well as the original drum loop. So basically what I'll do is I'll start off the track by, sorry, let me just get this view right. But basically, I'll have my drums filter in. So in the automation, what I've done now is I've just gone and used a single EQ, and it's like just a frequency EQ. So it's basically just shifting the EQ from like a high register to a low register, just so the track just doesn't start with like banging drums. It's almost got some subtleness to it. So if you just hear that by itself, you'll see how the frequency starts to shift, with the automation line. You can hear the drums start coming in very light, and then almost like it's giving the illusion that I'm only using like the highs in the drum mix, which I like. And then obviously moving it forward, you can hear how it slowly starts to come in, and then we have our full range. Sick. So moving on from that, I've got this piano sample that I found, which sounds like this. It's just basic chords in F minor. As you can see, I'm working in F minor. And yeah, a cool trick for guys that didn't know this is in Logic, I suppose, you can double click, and it'll obviously bring up what you're looking at, your sample itself. But what's nice about it is it also, you can detach the MIDI from it. So if you don't quite know the root note of the sample that you've used, or something like that, you could just double click, and this little icon over here is called flex. So you want to show or hide your flex. So this is the hidden mode. So if I turn that mode on, it'll ask me what kind of flex do I want to look at. For example, this one, I want to obviously see the pitch. Whereas if you're doing drums, you could do like the slicing up of drums. And then as you can see, there's no MIDI attached, so let's just draw some MIDI from that. So again, I'll turn it on. I'll choose, I want to see the pitch, and then from here I'll analyze for flex editing, which I already have, and then I'll create MIDI from that flex data. And as you can see, there's my chords. So I mean, now I've withdrawn. Sorry, let me just find it. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, so for some reason it's not showing me the flex data. But I mean, you can see it here. If I solo that, if I had to put an instrument on it, you'll be able to get that MIDI data, which is kind of what I did for this instance over here. So what I did was I drew the MIDI out from that piano chord. Let's just delete that one. Piano chord to get that MIDI, and then basically just change the MIDI up a little bit just so that it sounded pleasant. It's a cool little trick that I've been doing for a while now. So yeah, that's just how to draw the MIDI from one sample to create, more layers for yourself, just to make it a little bit easier. Moving on, I've got this little blip sound, which I think is from like a house pack. Yeah, a little synth blip that I've turned into the right tempo, and then warped a little bit to match my current project tempo. Take me home. Cool. The next sound is obviously that synth that I was showing you, which sounds like this. And again, like with automation, I won't start I'm not gonna let it. It's the same reason why I do the filter in the drums. Like, you want to welcome the listener. You don't just want to have things start, straight away. A little bit of volume automation in this case for these two sounds, and a little bit of filtering for that intro sound, just so it has a more easy listening, more pleasant intro. You don't want to bang too quickly. You want to create that tension. Moving forward, the usuals. For example, this little reverse crash. Instead of using I like to take drums, and then I'll just pop a little reverse on them. If you don't know how to do that, in Logic at least, you would just go to the file view, functions, reverse. Pretty simple. And yeah, it kind of sounds like this. Got that nice metallic sound to it. Also, in that case, I did add a little tape delay, with a little half note dotted feedback, and then not too wet and actually not too much feedback. You kind of just want to, you want that ethereal kind of feel to it, so it just goes with itself. And then again, just a basic pad, with also pretty much only an EQ and a little Valhalla verb, just to give it like more room, and with that one also like some basic automation, just having full control of your mix, which I feel is vital. It'll also help with your gain staging. Don't mind this was obviously a fuck up. And then yeah, the vocal I got from, if I'm not mistaken, Splice, which I think is a good place to find your